I've always already mentioned kind of messages to the squad, but the fact that you've taken him out a little bit, the fact that you took Clayton out a little bit as well, does that show people that you're not afraid to make changes and there are kind of standards and levels and expectations that you have?
Yeah, I think so. That's first and foremost what it is. It's like I base everything on work ethic, attitude, effort, application, wanting to be better above anything else. And if I see that in training sessions and some players are doing it more than others, then they come to the forefront of my mind. Also tactically, I look at the opposition and feel which player in which position can best perform in that game as well. So there's always that kind of element to it. But these things are very important to me, and I like to feel as though if players are high in these areas, then they'll be up for selection.
So what are the qualities that you'll need from your squad this weekend then when you face Harrogate?
Yeah, like every other game in League Two football or professional football, it's going to be a competitive one. It's going to be a real challenge. I think they've got some very exciting players in attack. They have lots of movement in attack, and we're going to need to be defensively and again fundamentally sound. But we believe we're in a good place in terms of understanding how we want to play football, and I think if we can implement and carry those out to a really good standard, we'll first and foremost be competitive and then have a good chance to win the football game.
Have you been impressed with how they've managed to establish themselves as a League Two side over the last few years? There's always lots of talk about teams that come up from the National League and there being kind of less of a gap really between the two divisions, but they've done well, haven't they, since coming up?
Yeah, I think so. I think it does initially take time, I think, to really sort of adapt to a new league, particularly when you get promoted, and I think they've done that very well. I think they've recruited some really good players. They have a certain type of player that they like, and yeah, credit to them in terms of the performance they're putting in. I've watched obviously a number of their games this season to prepare for this one, and when they're playing against the top teams, they look as though they're in the game, they're competitive, and the games have just been decided by moments. The Leyton Orient one in particular, I remember they lost 2-0 and then beating Mansfield 3-0. I think we know we have a tough challenge on our hands.